Okay, hello everybody. We are going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to the February 2019 HMIS meeting. All right, so this is the February 2019 user meeting. We're sorry that the user meeting last month ended up being canceled. The software that we use to show the webinar to you wasn't working, so we apologize about that. Please go ahead and enter your agency name in the chat so we know who's participating. And we are going to go ahead and get started. As we go through, if you have any questions, feel free to type those in the chat also. Okay, so here's our agenda. We want to talk a little bit about the user meeting format, as well as coordinated entry, permanent supportive housing performance, updates and clarity. We want to show you how you can see which of your clients need a status update, an annual assessment. We'll also go over knowledge-based articles really quick, show you new agency and program setup forms, the HIC-PIT update, how to rename or delete looks in Looker, an overview of the COC Board Reports, how to review HMIS training videos, as well as an update to where the Children's and Families Commission reports are located in HMIS. So first, really quickly, as many of you know, we were previously doing quarterly in-person user meetings, and we haven't been doing that lately. And the main reason why is because some months our agenda is heavier than others, and we don't want to ask everybody to come out here for like a 20-minute meeting. So that's why we've been sticking with the webinars. And as of now, we will continue doing that moving forward unless we have like a big agenda where it would be better to meet in person. But we wanted to get feedback from everybody to give you an opportunity to let us know if you do prefer the in-person meetings. In addition to having the webinars online, in addition to you not having to come here, it also gives us an opportunity to record the webinars so you can go back later if there's something that we show that you want to see again, or if there's other staff at your agency that weren't able to attend the webinar, they can watch this later. So, but I wanted to open it up really quick and see if anybody had any feedback. So I'll take a minute and look at that now. Webinar is better. That is right. Webinars are great. So it sounds like everybody is liking webinars. So if there's anybody out there that wants to make a strong case for in-person meeting, I'll give you a minute to type. But otherwise, we're getting a few people that say that they're liking webinars. Okay. Webinars are great. Thanks, guys. Okay, so you can still type in if you want. I'm just going to keep going to move the meeting forward. So we will continue webinars as of now. And if something urgent comes up where we think it is worthy of an in-person meeting, we'll send out an email and let everybody know. But for now, expect them to just be webinars moving forward. Next update. So we've been working with the Family Solutions Collaborative on some updates in the coordinated entry system, so we wanted to share those with you. The first is we heard from the Family Solutions Collaborative that a lot of users were marking veterans as not veterans in HMIS because they didn't want to answer the follow-up questions that would show up for those clients. Those are the theater of operations questions, the discharge status, branch of military. And we didn't know that was happening. So based on that feedback, we removed those follow-up questions on the profile page for users enrolling clients in the Family Coordinated Entry project. So if this is outside of coordinated entry, those questions are still there. But if you are using the Family Solutions Collaborative Agency to enroll clients in coordinated entry, those questions are not there. So I will show you what that looks like really quickly. So I am on Tinky Winky Teletubby, and I am under, hold on, let me move this. I'm under the Family Solutions Collaborative. So now when I say yes, those follow-up veteran questions don't show up here. But if you are not using the Family Solutions Collaborative, hold up my other agency. Those follow-up questions will still appear if you select yes. So this change is specific to that agency and that project, just so to make your data collection easier. The next piece of feedback that we received was that some clients were completing the VI-SPDAT assessment without being enrolled in the Family Coordinated Entry project. And so in order to prevent that from happening, we removed the assessment tab from the client record, and so now it's only available to be accessed under the client's enrollment. So to show you what that looks like, so I'm on Tinky Winky Teletubby, and right now the assessment tab is not visible up here at the top, and it used to be visible. So now if I want to get to the assessment tab, I have to go into the Family Coordinated Entry project, and then the assessment tab is available here. And then you would, once that you have the enrollment in the Family Coordinated Entry system, you click on that assessment tab, and then you will be able to select your VI-SPDAT assessment to complete it in there. So this just ensures that everybody has an enrollment in the Family Coordinated Entry project, and clients aren't completing a VI-SPDAT without that enrollment. If you have any questions as I'm going through, please feel free to put those in the chat, and we will answer those. So we also have a few upcoming changes that haven't been implemented yet because we're still waiting for a little more information. The first is that the Family Solutions Collaborative has asked that we can assign a navigator on the referrals page. So what that will look like. Right now, if you're on the referrals page for a client, there is an Assign Navigator button, but there isn't much in the dropdown, or it may even be blank for you. We're working with the Family Solutions Collaborative to get a list of users that should be available in this dropdown. I believe it'll mostly be the access point navigators from the Family Solutions Collaborative. So this would assign the navigator to the client to help them find the housing that they need. So we'll provide more information once that has been updated. The next is we received a request to collect some information on felonies. So we're waiting to hear exactly what those questions should be in order to add them. But it sounds like it will be something along the lines of, have you ever had a felony? And I think it's something like, was it violent or not? Not a lot of extra questions, just maybe a couple, but we'll let you know if and when we do implement that for the coordinated entry system. And then the final thing for the coordinated entry system is the Family Solutions Collaborative would like to add a question on the exit screen, which asks which housing provider or access point is exiting the household. So that will just be a drop down with a list of the possible agencies. And right now we're waiting for confirmation on who should be included on that list. So when that's finalized, we will update everyone as well. So those are the updates for the coordinated entry system, the Family Coordinated Entry system. Let me look at the chat. So far, I'm not seeing any questions. So hopefully everyone's crystal clear. I'm going to keep going. And if you think of any questions, you can go ahead and ask. Next thing, For the PSH and OPH performance data, hopefully most of you with these projects are aware that we reviewed the permanent supportive housing and other permanent housing performance data back in September at the Data and Performance Management meeting. So since it's been 5 months since then, we will be reviewing the data again at the upcoming February Data and Performance Management meeting. All of you with these project types should have received data on January 18th to review and make any corrections that you need to. And so now we are pulling the data again, hopefully with your corrections, and we're going to be presenting it at that meeting in February. And we will be comparing your performance from this time period to that in September, and reviewing whether or not the projects have improved or remained consistent, or if there's been any decreases. So if you do have these project types, please plan to attend that meeting so you can see how your project is performing and be involved in the discussion. And the Data and Performance Management meeting will be on Valentine's Day, actually, February 14th at 1:30 in the COSA training room, which is upstairs at the Village. And the Data Performance Management meetings are always held on the second Thursday of the month at 1:30. All right, I'm not seeing any other questions as of now, so I'm going to move on to Layla. Just a second.
Okay, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to go over some Clarity updates. So the first update shows that users will now receive email notifications for messages in their Clarity inbox. So the system will now send users notifications for emails pertaining to communication between users. And can I share my screen?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Okay. And let's see. Is it showing? I can't see it.
Yeah, we're seeing the Clarity home screen.
Okay, cool. So you'll also find that CAN reports are now listed alphabetically. So let's go to reports now. Okay. And as you see here, this update doesn't really make much of a difference because they're alphabetized by the code at the beginning of each report title. But we're just letting you know in case anything looks out of place from what you're used to. And the next update allows users to receive a notification when a client has turned 18 since being enrolled in a project. And this banner will appear while you're actually exiting the client. So let's take a look at this example. All right. Now I'm going to go to his programs. Okay. And I'm going to try to exit him. And so you see here, the banner shows up that he's turned 18 since being enrolled in the project. And also, when you complete annual status assessments, you'll find that you can include other household members to be included in the same update. So this is different from the way it was before because it would only show the member of the household for whom you were doing an update. So let's see here. So I have Homer Simpson here, and I'm going to go to his programs under this one. So here it says the assessment is due on February 10th. So I'm going to click Add. And as you can see here, it shows everyone in his household, and you can select which one is included in the update. So that's helpful. Now, let's go to the next slide. Okay, So I'm going to go over, actually, sorry, I can't see it right now. Is it showing the slide? No? Okay, cool. So we're going to go over how to see which clients are under your caseload are due for an updated status assessment after a year of being enrolled in a project. And keep in mind that in Clarity, you'll have to view this under the agency through which the client is enrolled in a project. So I'm going to switch. to OC Training Agency. And I'm going to search for my client. Okay, and now I'm going to click Caseload and Status Due. So you can see here it shows up that he's due for a status assessment, and it shows that he was enrolled in this project last February, so it's been a little over a year. So this is helpful, and that's it for the Status Due tab. So let's just go to the next slide.
Really quick, I think you can actually share, you can look at the caseload status due without searching. I don't think that's specific to the client you search for.
Okay.
I think it if you go to the caseload status due, it should show everybody at your agency that needs a status update, I believe.
Okay. Thanks for bringing that up. So now on the next slide, we're going to go over 2 new knowledge base articles, and I'll include the links in the minutes that will be posted for this webinar. And the first article is the one showing up here. So it's data entry for RIE and TOPWA funded projects. And this one's helpful because a client receiving services under RIE and TOPWA funded projects would not allow sensitive information to be shared with the entire COC. So only the agency serving such a client will be able to view this information. And the article covers how to create a profile for one of these clients in a way that meets the privacy standards of these grants. And it also goes over how to enroll them in projects. So that's it for this article. And we're going to take a look at the next one. So APR chronic homeless status for children. And as you may know, for APR purposes, questions asking about chronic homelessness are only asked to the head of household. But children who are not heads of households may inherit their household's chronically homeless status. So as we look here, the article covers how minor can be categorized as chronically homeless and how this data will affect your APR. And as I said, the links to these articles will be available on the minutes that will be posted later. So that's it for this slide.
Okay, let me share again. Or Casey, are you going to share your screen? Casey?
Yes.
Okay. Layla, yeah. Casey, do you want to share your screen?
Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so you may have seen this if you read last month's user meeting minutes, but we just wanted to demonstrate the new agency and program setup forms for everybody. So they're on our website in the same place as the old forms. So you click on Documents, and it's down here in the agency setup form section. So this new form combines agency and program setup forms. and it has some jump logic built into it, so we're just going to go through a couple options. So for everyone on the call, your agency is already participating in HMIS, so you would click yes, and then you don't have to fill out the agency setup information. But if you clicked no, a couple other fields would come up that you would need to fill out. Then the rest of it is pretty straightforward. There are a couple questions that are specific to emergency shelter that will show up if you select emergency shelter, but they'll go away if you click that by accident, and that information goes away if you select a services only project. And then at the bottom, we have spaces for 10 services. So what you would do if you have more than 10 services is submit this form first, and then keep scrolling down to the supplemental services form, and you can fill this out and submit it as many times as you need to get all of the services into us. And every time you submit either of these forms, a ticket gets created automatically in the help desk. So you don't need to let us know when you've completed it. We will see the ticket, and then we can add your email to the ticket and respond when we've set up your project or if we have any questions. Some people have gotten an error when they submit the form saying that spaces are not allowed. I think it was just in the agency name and program name forms. So we contacted Cognito, which is the company that makes this software, and they said that the problem is likely that the user's browser is not updated. So just make sure your browser's up to date before you submit the form, and you can also just remove the spaces from these fields to make sure that you don't fill out the whole thing and then have to do it again because you get that error. So we'll keep everyone updated if we get any more information on that error, but in the meantime, this is probably the safest way to do it.
Okay. HICPIT update. Let me share my screen. Okay, Elizabeth?
Yes. Hello, everybody. I'm here with your HICPIT update. So we want to let everybody know that we're currently in the review stage for the HICPIT. That means that your HICPIT agency contact should have received feedback from a 2-in-1 staff member on the materials that were submitted. And the tentative deadline to finalize all the HICPIT data is the end of this month, so the end of February. And because the deadline is so soon, we do appreciate if you could respond as quickly as you could to feedback that you receive. And if any of you are having trouble finalizing your HICPIT submissions, 2-in-1 will offer revision sessions. The revision sessions are opportunities for you to work one-on-one with the 2-in-1 staff member who you have been working with so far to finalize your forms. And these revision sessions will be held in a meeting room in the 2-in-1 OC offices. To attend a revision session, you can request one from the person who has been providing you feedback on your HICPIT submission, or the 2-in-1 staff member may suggest it for you. And they are not set in stone, so we will work together to find a convenient time to schedule the revision session with you. However, we want to make sure that you know that the goal is to finalize all the forms by the end of February. So that's about it for the HICPIT update.
All right, I'm not seeing any questions, so we'll go on to the next one.
So this information was in the meeting minutes for last month's meeting, but we wanted to go over it in case you didn't get a chance to read the meeting minutes. It's regarding the looker reports. So agency administrators can create and save looks, which are the custom reports made in Clarity, using the data analysis tab on the reports main page. However, agency administrators cannot rename or delete their save looks because this is not currently a feature available in Clarity. So we have submitted a ticket to BitFocus regarding this issue, and it has been passed on to the BitFocus Future Enhancement team, but it's not guaranteed that this will be added as a feature. So in the meantime, if you have made a report and you would like to delete it or you'd like to rename it, please contact the help desk and let us know which looks you want to delete. And if you want to rename a look, please let us know what the new name of the look is so we can rename it for you.
All right. No questions. I'm going to keep going. Next up is the COC Board Report overview. Adriana?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, do you want to share your screen?
Yes, sure. Okay, can you see OCHMIS.org?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hi, everybody. So next Thursday at the data meeting, we're going to be reviewing the COC Board Report for the month of January. And keep in mind that we have reviewing these reports for almost a year now, I would say. And all of the reports that we have presented are available on our website. So what I would like to do is to show you exactly where you can see them. So in OCHMIS, in OCHMIS, we just hover over reports, and then we click on COC Board Reports. And here we're going to see a link of all the monthly reports that we have presented and the quarterly and reports as well. So the reports are posted here after we present in the user meeting and after you guys provide feedback and we review with you. So after the user meeting on February, we're going to have a link here for the January report. So I know you guys are already familiar with this report and we're going to be discussing the report next Thursday, but I would like to give you a quick overview of the report. So for that, I will use December as an example. Okay, so this is the December COC Board Report that was presented in the last COC Board meeting, data meeting, sorry, in January. So basically the report is showing performance data, but not for project level, but it's just for the whole COC. And most of the measures that we see here are also included in the project performance report, with the exception of COC, of coordinated entry system data that we can see at the end of the report. Okay, so as you can see, most of the measures are broken down by project type, but we also have to take into account that not all project types are included in each one of the measures. Also, each measure has thresholds, and these thresholds can be the same for all project types, or it could also vary depending on the project type. So for example, for average days until PH placement, we have one threshold of 30 days for everybody, for all the project types. But if we go to unit utilization, we can see that the threshold depends upon the project type that we're looking at. In addition, underneath the project type, we can see the number of clients that were included in that measure. So that's also important to take that into account. And also underneath each one of the visuals of the measures, we're going to have a very brief description of what the measure is. But also, I'm going to show you later where you can see a more in detail description or explanation of each one of them. Another thing that I would like to point out here is that this report is color coded. So it's, for example, if we have a bar in green, it means that project type didn't meet the threshold, did meet the threshold. But if we have the bar in pink, it means that it didn't meet the threshold. So this is a good way or an easy way in which we can see if a project type met the threshold or not. So we would like to have this report, of course, as green as possible. So as I was explaining before, at the end of the report, we have coordinated entry system measures. And of course, these measures they don't have thresholds, and of course, they are not color coded because of that. And also to keep into account, HMIS only provides the data of family CES, and individual CES is provided by the Office of Care Coordinator of the county.
So that pretty much is the basic of the report, of the organization of the report. So if we go back to the main page and we click here, COC Board Report Narrative, we're going to find a document that, as I was explaining before, it will give you a more in-detailed explanation of what each measure represents and how each measure is calculated. So I will encourage you guys to read this document because it would also help, it will benefit us to understand your project performance reports. And as always, if you have any questions after reviewing that document, please let us know. And I think that would be it for me.
Okay. All right, so next up is HMIS training videos. Let me check really quick and see if we have any questions. Not seeing any questions. Mai?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I share my screen here?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so hi everyone. So if you guys remember in our last user meeting, we mentioned that we were working on the training videos. Well, now they're all available. So as you can see, these are the list of all the training videos that are now available in the OC HMIS training, OC HMIS YouTube channel. So you guys can go there and check it out and use it as, for training purposes. I'll take you guys to the YouTube channel just to kind of walk it through. So when you guys log into the HMIS YouTube channel, here's the homepage. These are the different tabs that you can go to get the videos. So in the video, this shows all the videos that we currently have. I personally like the playlist more, just because in here it's a lot more clean. They're categorized. So for example, all the videos related to client intake will be in this one. Anything related to household management will be in here. So I'll take it. So here you can see for client intake, we have 2 videos, adding a client profile and enrolling additional household members. So, just an idea of how it goes. We'll walk through each step. And then also another way is you can also just search for it too by clicking on the search icon. So for example, this will bring up whatever you search for or anything related to adding client, and then you can go from here. And then that's pretty much it. So like we said, all the videos are available. Use them. They're pretty much for you guys to help with your training for any new users. And then lastly, while you're in here, don't forget to click here to subscribe. That way you will get the most recent updates whenever we upload any new videos. Any questions?
I'm not seeing a question about YouTube, but I did see a question, a throwback question to the PPSH project performance reports. The question is, how can we confirm that the corrections have been made? Is there a report that we can run? We do have looks on many of the measures in HMIS for like entries from homelessness, income, that kind of thing. So we can include in the minutes a link to where all of those looks are available so you can review your data and make sure that corrections were completed. I believe instructions on how to access those reports were also included with the email that was sent on January 18th, but we can include them in these minutes also. All right, I'm not seeing any other questions, Mai, so go ahead.
Okay, so the next thing is COC report. So we just want to give you guys an update that we did move the COC report, and it's in a new location. So the report will be located in the data analysis page under Orange County System Reports. And this, I'll show you guys, but just quickly, the report will show all your agency CFCOC data. And so it used to be, if you guys remember, when you guys run the report, it used to be set up by contract number. So when you guys run the report, you guys have to enter in your contract number to bring up the projects. But now, when you run the report, it will show all your agency CFCOC data. And if you want to only see like a specific project, you will need to enter in the project name. So we'll go into Clarity, and I'll walk through that. Okay, so you will go into Reports, and then go into the Data Analysis page. And then before, your agency name will be here, and this is where you find the CFCOC report. Now, the report will be under the Orange County System Report, and you can find it here under CFCOC. And then if you click to run, it will take you here, and then as I mentioned before, it will show all your CFCOC data within your agency. And then if you only want a certain project, you can just type in your project name. And then this, now it will only see, here you can see we're only seeing Aaron's agency CFCOC emergency shelter test project. So that's it. If you guys have any questions.
And you can also adjust in the reporting period filter, you can change the dates
that's right.
for whatever dates you want to see data for. And
then just leave agency name blank. It should only, you should only see your agency's data. So you don't have to touch this.
I'm not seeing any questions. So I think that was all you had, right, Mai?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was all of the agenda items that we had today. So now if anybody has any questions that they would like us to answer about HMIS in general, or anything you want to see quickly, now's your moment. You can go ahead and type a question in the chat. I'm not seeing anything right now, but I'll wait a couple minutes. If you haven't already, please also put in the chat the name of your agency so we know who is participating today. And once the Q&A part is over, then we'll close down the webinar. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions coming in, so we're going to go ahead and end the webinar. The next user meeting, let me find it, hold on. will be, I believe it'll be March 6th. Same time, webinar at 10 a.m. We will confirm that date and put it in the meeting minutes also. And we'll send out the recording of this webinar as well as the meeting minutes within the next day or so. So thanks everybody so much for attending, and we'll see you next month. Bye.